Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. So first, I know it's been about 3 weeks since I did a video. That's because for the past month or so, this guy and I have been doing what they lovingly call house dressing here. Folks, he's told you, Cortez has told you, I've told you, when you buy a brand new house in Merida or Mexico probably, right?
Mexico, yeah.
You get the shell. You have to put everything else in. So what I did was I took the plan that Angel created 3 years ago, everything that he's learned in the last 3 years, we scaled it down and we did it to my house. The plan was to get the best I can afford without going into debt and relatively staying in my budget because we didn't want to do it again.
Exactly.
Okay, so for those of you who haven't been to my channel or are new, welcome. My original goal is to help people who are managing chronic illnesses understand that they can go out into the world and they can actually make a life, not to be afraid of going out into the world. Now, we kind of focused on the house this last, because I bought 2 months ago. But to me, having a place that's mine is really important and part of self-care. So that was my priority number one. So you guys know him, but I'll introduce him anyway. This is Angel.
Hola. Nice to meet you all.
My contractor, coordinator extraordinaire, and my bad guy when I need him to be. He's really good at it.
Thank you.
He's also excellent. The prices, I'm going to give you a list of things. And I will keep reminding you that not only did I follow his plan, but I got these prices because he kind of like poked, charmed, begged, argued with every single contractor at every step of the way to get as many discounts as possible. And you should know that it was worth every penny to hire him because he's a busy man, because he only works with what he considers to be from experience, the best contractor.
Yes, that's very true.
He shows up, he has the guys, they do what they say they're gonna do. It's literally taking a hurricane to get these guys to pause, okay?
Yeah, that's true. Well, they haven't failed us at all. They've been straight to the point, focus on the job. They go, sometimes we have even to ask him to get lunch and sit down for a little while because this guy go like one time we have like 3 or 4 different crews in her house at one time. So we work, I say we work with the best contractors and we use the best materials.
Exactly,
we really
exactly.
do. I'm very proud of the job that they done. I'm very happy with their work and I hope that you are happy too with them.
Oh, I am. And we'll get a little bit further into that and you'll see why I'm happy about this. So I want to take a little detour before we get into the list, and I'll actually tell you what the list is about in a minute, to let you know that the things that Angel has bargained for me more than covered his fee.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, that's what I see when I was hired by you. My priority is number one, to watch your wallet. Okay, number 2, you hiring me not just as I'm your guardian, I'm your contractor, I'm your friend, and I'm there.
He forgot to add bulldog.
A bulldog. Yeah, I like to argue with the contractors and argue price and negotiate. Because that's what Look, I know you buying a house is a big purchase. Okay, number 1, you're moving to a new country, which by itself is a little scary for everybody.
Yes.
And now you find yourself with a language barrier, a lot of us, and you don't know anybody. And contractors, just like in the United States, they're very well known for a lot of them be rip-off.
Yes.
Yeah. We never have been rip-off, not even once.
Not even once.
Not even once. We advance all kind of money, big money that anybody should be scared of advancing. But I told Heather, just move on with it. I guarantee. I know who I'm dealing with, and these people are very good at what they do.
Yes, they absolutely
negotiate the price for you. That's part of my job. Actually, that's, I would say, at least 60% of what I do.
and herding them up and making them show up when they're supposed to and getting on the phone. Absolutely, folks. Yes. Okay. So this list is going to give you an idea of how much it costs to do house dressing. For perspective, my house is approximately 1,700 square feet. It's up and down. It's 2-bed, quarter bath. Okay, so it's not a huge house. But it's a scaled down model of what Angel has done in the last 3 years. And I was really appreciative of having his guidance, because when he did it, there was nobody helping him. He didn't have an angel on his shoulder. Well, he had this angel, but you know.
I always tell my wife the money we will have saved if we actually had somebody doing what we work together to accomplish. I will have saved a lot of money, and now I realize how much I overprice, and I speak the language. I just can't imagine how much overpriced a foreigner could be, given that they don't have a clue.
Right.
That 200 pesos, it might sound like, well, it's nothing. It is something. We're talking about like $12, $13. When that thing costs $5, then it adds up. So, I'm glad that and I learned what I learned by making mistakes myself. So I focus on.
I benefited from those mistakes.
Now what I do is making sure that you don't.
Exactly.
And you don't be taken advantage of.
Exactly. Okay, so folks, I'm going to go through the list, and Angel is going to correct me, not if, but when I make mistakes, and he'll chime in when there's something more to be added, okay? So let's start at the roof. The very first thing he forced me to do was to get the sealant on the roof. And folks, I was so thankful, because 1 week later, we had our first major rain, and there were people all over Facebook, my bedroom is flooded. Oh my gosh, my landlord didn't seal the roof, on and on and on. He not only said, you have to get this done, but tell him why you chose the product that you chose.
Well, I chose that product because it has a warranty, life warranty for 7 years. Now, that does not mean it's gonna last 7 years. It means that it's gonna last maybe 10, but guarantee is 7 years.
Right.
You have a top-notch product. When I start working with you, Angel, I have a limited budget, but I want the best. So everything we use, especially for your roof, well, for everything, but in this case, your roof is being top-notch. You have a ceiling coat like this thick.
Right.
You have like another roof of a ceiling on top of your roof.
Right.
So pretty much it's at least a couple of inches of ceiling just itself. So for the water to go through, you will have to go through that 2 inches of ceiling and then the concrete on the bottom of it. So
that's pretty ambitious, right? Yeah. So we did the coating, and that cost $850. Now, folks, this is today's price, not next week's price, not a month from now. I'm giving this to you so you can have an idea of what my 1,700 square foot costs to dress it. And again, it's not a 1,700 foot square roof, because I'm 2 floors, right?
Yeah, exactly.
But that's what it took for my roof. The next thing, and you don't have to do this, I chose to do because I said I'm using a scaled down model. Electricity here is expensive. Electricity everywhere is expensive. But the last thing you want are these surprise bills, especially when the weather is 110 degrees and you need to turn on your AC. So I got 10 solar panels, which is more than sufficient for me, and sufficient even when I have guests.
Yes.
Right?
Yes, it would be plenty.
Right. So my 10 panels installed. Now, okay, here's an angelism. We just made a new word. I paid $6,000, but that was after Angel sat across from the guy who was selling me the panels. I know because I was there, and talked him down.
Yeah, he wants 124, I think it was.
Oh, speaking dollars.
Oh, yeah, he was around 7,000, maybe a little bit
Yeah,
over.
exactly.
Around $7,000.
So that's $1,000 right there. Don't talk about his fee, okay? So yeah, Angel kind of talked this guy down, and the guy is so thankful for Angel that he's like, yeah, sure, we'll do it, because he knows he's going to bring more business, right?
That's true. Yeah, that's what I told him. Look, man, I'm giving you a lot of business. Why you got to tell us why should we go with you and not with your next door neighbor?
Exactly.
You know, that provide the same service you're providing. If you want me to keep bringing you business, give me an incentive.
Exactly.
So I think $1,000 was a good incentive. I mean, it was incentive enough for us to move forward.
It made me happy. And folks, when they came, it was 10 o'clock at night before these people left my house. I was in bed.
Yeah, you told me they still here. I said, you kidding me?
But okay, so the solar. Oh, and by the way, Angel also convinced them, because I have air conditioning units on a cement pedestal, so it's bolted down, and we'll get to that in a minute. He convinced them that they had to raise the panels above my AC. They weren't going to move my stuff because he didn't want that.
Yeah, well, it's just protect. It's just common sense. I want, look, if you're gonna put solar panels, we have in Merida, you know, it gets hot, and you know, weather is very change a lot. So I was like, okay, why don't we put the panels on top of the ACs? Now you're protecting the ACs.
Right.
Okay, so
Right.
I was like, look, I'm gonna kill two birds with one stone. You're gonna put the panels, put it on top of it. Now we got a roof, a free roof for the ACs.
Yeah, and by the way, he didn't let them take an extra peso. Okay, let's move on. So again, the solar panels are 10 solar panels. Today's price is about six. It actually would be about $7,000.
About
for
7,000
10
if you,
pounds.
yeah, if you
Right.
if you go just by yourself and you walk in there, it's gonna be 7,000 plus whatever they try to sell you on top of it.
Exactly. So don't walk in there by yourself. Okay. So the next thing we did was added a pressurizer. Water is gravity fed here. And it's really annoying when you're doing your dishes downstairs and there's not enough water, or you're taking a shower and the little drips are coming down. Folks, my shower is like a New York City shower. It beats me up with every drop. It's really, I mean,
I
of course,
told you so.
I can
I
adjust
told
it,
you.
but it's awesome. It is awesome. You feel like you've been showered when you get in my shower.
That's what I told you. You're gonna know another meaning of Niagara Falls.
Exactly. It's awesome. And I have one of those rain showers. It's awesome. So the pressurizer installed was $800.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's move on to, you know what, I'm going to move the AC up because that's on the roof as well.
Okay.
So I got 3 ACs. Now, the size of your AC matters. I got the smaller ones because I have a smaller house. And it was the Prime brand, PRIME, and it was $810, right? We got those on a shopping trip with Ruth, his other half.
Yeah.
That's his better half. But anyway, so she helped me get those. Okay, he has larger ACs in his house because his house is much larger.
Yeah.
What's the size of your?
Mine, the biggest one I have is 36,000 BTUs.
And mine is like 12.
Yours is 12, and
Right.
the smallest I have is 18.
Right. Yeah.
But again, it's bigger the living room though, so
And he run. It's like the North Pole in here.
yeah, it is cool.
And by the way, he pays what, 68 pesos for his
No,
electricity.
55.
Excuse me, 55.
55. Yeah, I
pesos
got.
every 2 months.
That's what $3 roughly, maybe like $1.50 a month.
Okay, so, and we had little cement bases built. Could you tell them about that?
Yeah, what we don't want to do is have people screw on the roof, because you're running into more chances of getting water going through it and get water leaking in your house, right? So I said, no, we want to build a base for the ACs. Why? Now you're gonna screw on the base. You don't want to touch the ceiling. In any case, you're protecting more the ceiling because you're giving an extra layer of concrete on top of what it is already there, right? So what we did was I told the guy no, because he was first trying to remember. He was like, well, we just want to put it on the ground. I said, no, that's not gonna fly. That's not gonna fly. Look, build a base, and we'll do it. We'll take care of it.
And
Well,
miraculously, they did it on time, didn't
yeah,
they?
yeah. And then he came back to me and said, "Well, let me think about it." Sure enough, he said, "Okay, we'll do it." So
Okay,
we built
yeah.
bases, and
Right.
now all your ACs are fixed into the concrete platform
Right.
that you have on the roof.
Right. Okay. So the three ACs with $810 installed. Okay. So let's go back up. Let's go back up to the cabinet. Folks, this is a real discussion here. For those who have built in the States, you will not find this number startling at all. But if you're here and you have this idea that things are dirt cheap in Mexico, the cost of the cabinets might surprise you. Now, you can downgrade by getting a cheaper material. You can get pressed wood. But what happens with pressed wood and humidity?
We'll probably be, especially with this weather, you'll probably be changing that within maybe a year.
Yeah, exactly.
You're gonna end up paying again.
Exactly.
Because there is no repair. You cannot repair it. There is no
Right.
repair. It's just replace.
You have to replace. I got cabinets like his from the same cabinet maker, and I'll tell you exactly what I got so you can have it in your mind kind of what this price means.
But keep in mind, before you even say the price and you describe it, this is real wood. This is not, because like I said, this is the real thing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you can sand it and repaint it tomorrow, no problem. You can sand it, which you cannot do with the pressed wood. So whatever she is going to describe now, keep in mind this is a real wood.
Yes, absolutely. Solid. Okay, so for my house, I got 2 large cabinets under my kitchen sink. I got a built-in pantry with drawers about, 3 or 4 feet wide. And the height of my roof, which is about, ceiling, about
The
8
ceiling?
feet, about 8 feet.
Yeah,
Yeah.
around 8 feet. Yeah.
So, okay, and that has drawers and all that stuff for my forks and spoons and pantry space and so on. So I got the pantry in the kitchen, the 2 cabinets under the sink. I got a cabinet under the sink in the quarter bath. Upstairs, I got 2 closets with drawers and hanging space, all real wood.
From the bottom
All
to
the way
all
to
the
top.
way to the top.
Right, so 8 feet tall or so. And then I got a medicine cabinet, thank you for suggesting that, and the 2 cabinets under the sink. So for all those things, the real wood, it was $8,700. That might surprise some of you, but anyone who has had cabinets built in the States, you're like, give me a break.
But you got to remember that includes materials and labor. That
And
includes
it's
everything. That's it.
everything. They even asked for a picture of the color of my door so they can paint it the same color so it matches.
Exactly.
So, folks, that may sound like a lot of money, but these are cabinets that you're not going to have to replace.
And they will be there, they will be there for 30, 40 years to come. They will be there for years to come.
Exactly.
Okay, it's easy to replace, to paint it again or to sand it or whatever you want to make. If you want to make any modifications to it, it's wood.
Mm-hmm.
You can cut it, you can sand it, you can paint it.
Mm-hmm.
That is a whole different game. You have a pressed wood.
Mm-hmm.
You can really do nothing to it.
Right. Now, folks, remember, we've talked about inflation a number of times already. Even Angel was surprised by how much the cost had gone up in the 3 years since he done his.
We were just talking about that. It's just I'm still surprised. Honestly, I had a WhatsApp message today about a seller. A house just identical. Twin house next to her. It goes from what 2.1. Dollar wise, it was like let me see because we didn't do the math, but it's gonna be I'm not telling
Something
you,
like 30,000, 20 or 30,000
see.
in 2 months.
Yeah, that's what we said. Yeah,
Yeah.
like 30,000 in 2 months. So basically, I was telling her, you're making $15,000 a month just by living in your house. Forget about all you put into it. Your house is close to $3 million as it is right now. You pay 1.8.
Yeah.
And we talk about millions. Let's talk about dollars, so they kind of in the same.
Yeah.
You pay about 110, let's say 110 for your house.
I paid 115.
Oh,
for my
115.
house, yeah. Mm-hmm.
That house now we talk about like 160.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
160, folks.
As it is right now.
2 months.
Well, you saw I had an email with the guy saying, hey, it's gonna be like 130.
Yeah,
without
yeah.
nothing. Just what you pay 115, now it's like 135 right now. So if you have taken 2 months thinking about it, that 2 months will have cost you $30,000.
And I know that many of you out there who can't make the move right now because, retired, whatever, but please think about it. And a lot of people are telling you about inflation, but this is no joke. Merida is becoming more expensive every single month. Materials are becoming more expensive, and things in the States are getting a little bit more shaky every day. So try to find a way to act. Don't wait until things seem perfect. Figure out how much you need to make it here and act if you can do that. You don't need to be a millionaire. I certainly am not.
Me neither.
Right? We are moderate folks.
Exactly.
Right? So really, really think about that, because if in 2 months a similar house, and mine is a modest house, goes up that much, think if you need a 4-bedroom house.
Imagine.
Let's not think about it, but think about it, right? It's no joke.
Yeah, you'll be paying a lot of money. Actually, I think that, the later, and some people, and I understand where they're coming from, they say, well, I'm going to sell a property in the United States.
And
I'm going to make more money if I wait more. But you're not really making anything, because the money you're making more, you're going to spend it here more when you buy the house anyway. So if you make 50 there, you're going to spend 60 when you get here.
Exactly.
So basically, the only thing if you ask me, you lost time. Because you wait for 2 years to actually accomplish zero.
You've lost time. You've probably lost peace of mind. You've lost a little bit of your health, probably. So there are a lot of things that you need to add into this thing. Make your plan, and as soon as you can, jump. You won't be alone if you come here.
That's true.
You won't be alone. You'll get the help that you need. Okay. So now that we've talked about the cabinets, I hope you weren't shocked by that. Let's move on to the larger meter.
Yeah.
Okay.
Very important.
Right. The house comes with a standard meter. But Angel, can you explain to them why?
Well, the CFE, see, a lot of these houses, remember, they build for people that have one AC.
Yeah.
People here in Merida are humble people. And that doesn't necessarily mean that it's bad or good. It's just humble. They don't have 3 ACs, or they don't have 5 ACs, or they don't have things that we do have. Okay, they we moved down here and we love to have. So these meters are made by the CFE.
The electricity company.
Yeah,
CFE.
the CFE is a commission of Federal Electric Company, the electric company. They put that meter there, and it's made just for small houses with little appliances. Maybe one coffee maker, and maybe one AC, and one TV, and a lot of us like to have a TV even in the bathroom. Some people, or people like TVs, right?
And we need our Ninja smoothie. We need our Ninja creamy.
Exactly. So these meters burn up right away. Usually they burn at night. For whatever reason, all of them burn at night.
Just like fire detectors in your house, 2 a.m. Beep, beep.
Exactly. Yeah, that's true. That happened to me too.
Exactly.
And then guess what? When your power goes out because that thing could burn, the meter, now you got no power. You got no power. The electrician he isn't gonna get up at 2 in the morning to come to your aid. Okay, so now you have a problem. You got food in the refrigerator. So I was telling Heather, you need to replace that. And when I tell you need to replace it, because I went through it. I was with no power. Okay, and my wife knows we went with no power. We're sitting having dinner and power went out.
Ruth
Everybody got power.
Laughing. She's laughing.
And I said, I think that we paid the bill. Yeah, I did. And what's going on? I said, we got no power. I said, maybe it's a power outage. I said, well, it might be a power outage in our house because everybody got power. So when I went out there, sure enough, that thing was burned.
And you've had friends this has happened to in your neighborhood.
Yeah, in my neighborhood, I got you see somebody, I have somebody across the street, 3 people. Same thing happened. And then Emmanuel, the one you met, the same thing happened to him, Manny.
Great guy.
So what happened is this, when you consume so much electricity, you have 2 poles this close, right? So they get so hot that the rubber melt, and this will happen when they touch it, they get burned.
You get
a shortcut. So now we put a big meter, which is this separate. It doesn't matter how hot they get, they never get like this because they like this, right? So they're big. Now you can turn everything on. with
Not
no
that we,
problem.
well, he does. Like I said, Arctic cold in here. 16. He has his, I do mine at 29 if I turn it on at all, but they like the Arctic.
Yeah, no, I like the cold. And then you got the monsters also on top of that. They the big AC, so they
Right, they
take
have big
more power.
air conditioning units, right.
Okay, but you
right.
got to remember when you got solar panels, like you mentioned before, who cares? Just turn it on for the fun of it.
Okay, for all you folks that are going to write me because he said who cares about power, that's his. Write him. Write him, okay? Don't send me a note saying, how dare he talk about power that way? But he's right. You're generating it from the sun.
Exactly.
It is almost free.
I will make. You're gonna laugh at this. I went to the electric company, right? I said, well, because they give me credit every month, so I use a lot of power, but they still got credit on my bill. Mm-hmm. So I went there and said, well, let me see if I can, argue for a dime. I'm gonna go there. That's what I do. I'm gonna argue with these people. So I go there and say, I got this much credit. What I'm gonna do with it? And I'm gonna give me money back. And they're like, no. I said, well, what I'm gonna do with it? I said, use it. I said, but I'm using it, and I don't run out of it. And they're like, well, keep using it. And that's why I came back and I told my wife, like, leave everything on. Because really, that's what they're saying. Leave everything on so you can consume the credit, or else I'm gonna be a credit millionaire, and I will, there is no way to spend it, right? So solar panel, like you mentioned a while ago, and I don't want to go back to that subject, but like it's very important.
It is.
It's very. If you got kids, the least you want is like be 100 degrees out there and be.
Yeah.
It's
If you're caring for elderly parents, you need to keep them comfortable too, because 108 degrees is not healthy for anybody.
For anybody, yeah, that's true.
Yeah. So the larger meter installed was $534.
And we have somebody coming from the electric company because they have it sealed. So we have somebody, we will sell it, and then we have somebody from the electric company. We kind of bypass the whole process of notifying them, letting them know that, and get into the Mexican bureaucracy of I'm going to send somebody, but he didn't show up to work today and maybe tomorrow. So what we did was, okay, that guy came, right? That guy came and put they fixed it, they put the meter, and the electric company, thanks to my contractor, came and put a lock to it. Back, nothing happened.
Yeah, exactly. And it happened quickly too. So you may be noticing that the lighting is changing on the computer. You don't have to look, just listen. There we go, it got lighter again. Just listen.
What is that?
I think it's my computer adjusting to the lights. It's an automatic thing. But you can still hear us, right? That's all that matters.
Well, that's news to me.
So they came, they took care of it, and it was $534. Thanks, Ruth.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay. So we already talked about ACs. I have 4 ceiling fans, which I prefer because my West Indian body doesn't like Arctic temperatures. I use my ceiling fans. I think I've turned on my AC maybe 2 or 3 times since I've been
I
in
go
that
to her house and she had the AC on, and I'm looking for the
and
fan.
He's sweating. I do things like that to keep people like him out of my house.
Oh, I see now. Let me see when she needs me again. When she needs me again, I remember that.
When I need him again, all I have to do is like, Angel, I'm so sorry.
Oh my God.
He's there. I might make it a little cooler for him once I turn on my solar panel.
Yeah, exactly.
We'll talk about that.
Okay. That sounds like a plan.
Okay, so second most important topic in solar panels is your generator. Folks, plan a generator in your budget. Cortez has talked about it. He talked about it just yesterday. Excellent video, by the way, Cortez, if you're checking
very
it
good
out.
video. I love his videos.
Yeah. Preparing for the hurricane. A generator is a must if you're living in 110 degrees in a place that loses power. And don't get the smallest one. Get one that will make sure your food doesn't spoil, you keep your fans running, a few other things. Go out, do some shopping around, ask some questions, and then I got mine at Costco, and I got second down from the largest one they had available, and it's a monster. It'll handle what I need to do.
It will handle what you need.
And I paid for my generator $900. Plus, Angel got this huge cable to make sure that everything is good. They can handle the power
that's
from
very
my
important.
house
Yeah.
for $218 for the length that I use. Now, what we did was we had the cable wired into my panel.
That's
my
exactly,
electric
that's the
panel.
right way to do it.
So when power goes out, for me, I have to plug into the generator because my panel wasn't on the outside wall. It was in the middle of my kitchen, and I wasn't ripping up floors.
Yeah, but you got to remember that in your case, it's easy because the only thing she's talking about, like, I'm gonna plug it. It's like, you're gonna run. No, she's just gonna plug, like plugging a radio. Just plug a radio. Your power goes out, plug the radio, you got lights.
Could you imagine how much of this happened in the last 2 months?
No, but you.
Yeah, he's right. It's just a plug.
It's just a plug.
Okay.
I mean, yeah.
But it's wired into my panel by a real electrician. Don't let anyone half step. Electricity is one of those huge safety things for me to know, and for him. We don't half step here. Okay, so he wired it in, and I'll give you the general price of everything that the electrician did in the house in a little bit later. So when power goes out, I put the cord through my kitchen window and plug it into the generator.
That's all.
Folks, add a generator. It doesn't matter if, like Cortez says, if you're renting or if you own. If you're renting, you can take it with you.
You know, it's funny, like you mentioned the generator. A lot of people don't really think about it.
Mm-hmm.
I always told my wife, you know, I want a generator. If, you know, when I moved to the Caribbean, because I was my dream, living, you know, as I'm living now, you know, in peace. And I thought, I want a generator. I want to have my generator. Mm-hmm. And sure enough, when the power goes out and the entire neighborhood is pitch black, I light my house like Christmas tree. I open my garage, electric garage, and get out there with my cup of wine, and look at my neighbors.
He's forgetting one major step. He's usually grilling, drinking a beer, and taking a picture of saying, guess what I'm doing right now.
Guess what I'm doing? Everybody like walking by and I'm looking at my house lighting up like a Christmas tree. And with the power outage, and I'm like, I was telling my wife today, you know what? I left my grill up front. We pick a couple of stuff in case the hurricane and the winds. I said, no, leave my grill. Because I see myself grilling while the hurricane is coming.
Of course he would be.
I would be with my chicken wings and, you know, drinking and listening to music. I told my wife, leave it there, we'll be fine.
Yeah, and his beer will be cold because his refrigerator is hooked up to his generator.
That's the thing. Let's talk a little bit about that. When you hook it up, see, when I found myself, and when I'm telling you this, guys, is because we went through it, me and my family. This is not something that just occurred to me because I'm a genius. No, I went through it. Okay, so I know. What happened is this: when the power goes out, there you have me running extension cords to here and there and there.
Dangerous.
And when I'm done, power come back. Now I have to hook everything up, and then it went. I said, you know what? I called the electrician and said, I just want to flip a switch, man. Mm-hmm. Now, when I flip a switch, my entire house have power. I don't have to run an extension to this room and have like a 20 extensions. Yeah. So you connect it to the main breaker. The only thing you're doing is instead the electric company providing you the electricity, the generator is. So today she came and when you came, I told her I got enough gas there. The power goes out for like 3 days. Yeah. So if the power goes out, at least 3 days, I have power. Yeah, yeah. You know, and that's why I think it's very important, guys, to put in your budget. Yes. The generator. Yes. Okay, look where you're moving to. Yes. Okay, you're moving to the Caribbean. This is a peninsula. So we got hurricane and storms and rains. Anyway.
We've had like 3 tropical systems in a row, and now they're talking about a hurricane.
You know, so we want to make sure that get a generator. And don't get a cheap one like you said. Remember, cheap is expensive.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes.
You're gonna end up being like, okay, I only can plug the refrigerator and that's it because my generator won't produce enough. No, you want to make sure to be like, blast your fans, pull your TV, blast your music, nothing is happening, everything is good, your refrigerator is taken care of. You want to make sure of that because it's easy to put gas in a generator, okay, that wait for the power to come back. Some neighborhoods I was watching the news the other day, they've been without power for days.
Wow, yeah.
You know,
Merida, Centro.
3 days with no power.
Yes.
And that's not fun. We got mosquitoes, we got heat. I mean, we got the whole enchilada, so you want to make sure that you are protected and taken care of. So if the power goes out, I'm okay. And if you stay, I'm okay too.
Yeah. So yesterday in Cortez's video, he talked about having a workaround rather than giving up too soon and leaving. There are workarounds for all these things that happen here. There are people that have lived here in a healthy way. And we're living like kings here because we have the
We are.
generators and all the other stuff.
We are.
But there are workarounds that are actually affordable.
You remember what the contractor told us about the generator in his house? I asked the contractor, do you have a generator? He said, no. Remember the contractor,
Yeah,
Edgar?
yeah.
And I said, how come? He said, what do you do when the power goes out? Oh, we use it in the backyard.
Yeah.
This guy built house,
$1 million houses.
but he doesn't have a generator. He just
Yeah.
go out to the yard.
And that's what you find a lot of locals do. You know, at the end of the day, they're sitting in front of their house. They don't have a lot of money, but they're rich in so many other ways. I and this guy here are way too spoiled to do that. We want to be inside, away from the mosquitoes, and some of us need to be in their pool, grilling and taking pictures. No, and drinking beer. So folks, like the solar panels, please consider a generator as part of your workarounds for the natural things that happen here in Merida.
You'll be grateful.
Fair
You'll
enough?
be
Okay.
grateful for it.
Okay, so again, the generator is $900 and $218 for the cable. And the installation is in the
About the
electrician's
cable,
price.
guys, we could get a cheaper cable. There is cables way cheaper. You might say, well, that's a lot of money for cable, but you got to remember, if you're gonna have a lot of power coming from that generator into your house. If you don't get it thick enough, they call it heavy duty, wire, like the one I got, the one you got. You can throw it outside and let the water water, thunder, it doesn't matter, it will never burn.
Yeah.
Because it's thick.
Yeah.
Make sure you get that and you pay the price for that. I know
Yes,
it's expensive,
absolutely.
I know it's not cheap, but
It's a one-time purchase.
it's a one time forever. That's it.
Exactly, exactly. Okay, so one of Angel's favorite topics, the ladder.
The ladder, oh my
The
God.
ladder.
Oh my God.
So, Angel likes ladders. He
Yeah.
likes well-designed and well-built ladders in particular. The ladder that his contractor had built for me was no joke.
And for me,
Yeah,
remember,
and
I got mine too. I got after I saw yours, I won one.
He went and got an extra ladder, folks. He had ladder envy.
But guess what? But you look at look at the difference. Look at the difference from your ladder and the ladder I have. When I moved here, I have a ladder installed in my house, which is a chain. I mean, it's a chain compared to what you got.
Yeah, it's about 2 feet wide.
And it's away from the wall and-
all the way, yeah, it's like a good distance from the wall, so the wall doesn't get damaged. It goes all the way down, so I can go up there if I want to. And folks, ladders attached to your house are really expensive. He told me about this, but I was kind of looking at him sideways when he told me this. There were contractors that showed up to my house, not his contractor, but another contractor showed up to my house, needed to go on my ceiling and ask me, how do I get up there? They don't travel with ladders.
Because they assume that you have access to the roof.
Exactly.
I mean, you got to remember, according to the mentality, it's not for them to gain, to secure an access. It's for you to provide them with an access to wherever you
So
want
they
the
could do
work
their
to be
job.
performed.
Right, right.
So they go there, you don't have a ladder, they be like, I mean, the way to go up is like, oh, I want you to install my air conditioner, but I don't have the air conditioner. They'd be like, what do you want me to install?
Exactly,
It's still the
exactly.
same principle.
And you will, or contractors will go up on your roof because they need to clean, they need to inspect the AC, they'll need to
Clean
yeah.
the water tank that you have
Yes.
in the
Yeah,
backup
exactly.
water plant.
It's necessary. And fortunately, because he pushed this, and he was right, because when they went to install the solar panels, they used that ladder with no problem.
Exactly. Or else they'll be like, well, how we gonna reach the top?
Exactly.
You know
exactly.
what I mean? Because remember, they don't have they don't carry around. Most of them, they go in a small car anyway. They don't have a ladder big enough to go
No.
to second floor. So
Exactly.
you gotta make sure you provide them the access to it.
Exactly.
And not just for that, for the ACs, like you said, to clean the water tank,
To redo the seal.
the seal on the roof, for whatever reasons.
To
They need
check
to go
out
on
your
the
solar
roof,
panels.
check
Yeah,
out the solar
yeah.
panels, whatever you need to do, you need.
Exactly,
A ladder.
exactly. So ladders are designed by the meters, right? And they built an excellent ladder off-site, and they came and installed it in less than half an hour.
There's a half an hour,
Yeah,
yep.
it's really cool. So my ladder for my 2-story house was 1K. That may sound like a lot, but when you see this ladder, you're thinking,
Yeah,
oh my God.
it's monstrous. I told my
impressed.
wife, it's a monster.
It
That thing
really,
is a
really
I mean, you
is.
feel like you want to climb up there just for the fun of it.
Yeah, yeah. You don't think that it's ever going to come loose, that there's nothing that won't fit, that you shouldn't be taking on your ladder or up to your roof anyway, right?
Well, you got to remember, that's true, but you got to remember, Heather, you got to make sure that you got a good ladder. If you
Yeah.
fall out of that, most likely you get hurt seriously.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so you want to make sure you got a ladder. I'm 260 pounds, and I go up there like that is not tomorrow. I mean, I go like a monkey, up and down, up and down. You know, I got that roof thing on top, so I go up and down my roof now like I'm a happy camper.
So I'm telling on Angel, he doesn't have a man cave. Although he doesn't need a man cave because he's got a lot of room, he has a man roof now.
Yeah, I go out there and I sit and drink my beer and take my, listen to my music on the roof.
And Ruth is probably thrilled. Oh, she's laughing.
She's like, "Where are you? Where are you going?" I'm going to the roof.
He's like, "Stay up there." Okay, so the ladder for my two-story house, excellently built, really. And I'm prime military. I'm telling you, this is a well-built ladder, 1K. Okay, so let's talk about the electrician. He did the pressurizer, he did the ACs, he did the ceiling fan, he did the generator, he did the wiring it to my house.
He connect the stove from the kitchen
Oh,
with
yeah.
the gas.
Yes, he did.
Yeah, when you remember the water was leaking in your bathroom, he came fix it for no
I got
charge.
freebies, y'all. I got
Yeah, he
freebies
can do-
because
yeah.
of this man.
I couldn't take care of it, and we got some freebies out of him.
We did. And he was a really nice guy. About $1,500. That's a lot of work. You know that getting an electrician just to come to your door in the States is almost $200. That's what it cost me in my last house in the States.
Well, he did a lot for you.
He
Heather.
did
He did a
a lot
lot.
for
All the
me.
electric part, all of it.
Yes, all the electricity in
Installing
the
the
house.
3 ACs and the ceiling
Yeah.
fans, like you said, pretty much everything.
Yes, yes. He was amazing.
Yeah, he
Knows
was
his
good.
stuff.
He was good.
So about $1,500. And again, today's prices. Okay. So the boiler, more freebies. He got the builder to build a little cement platform about 4 feet in the air where my boiler sat. Yes, he did. And I got a decent sized boiler.
Bigger than mine, too.
Because no one, especially when they have guests, likes the hot water running out when people are in the shower. You need hot water for your washing machine. I can't stand, I've been to places in the tropics where I took what I consider to be a short shower. Before I'm done washing the soap out of my hair, the hot water runs out. I hate it.
You haven't run out of hot water, have you?
No, that's all. We got the
Yeah.
big boiler.
Yeah, I don't think
I'm
you
making
ever-
a
yeah.
point here. Let me tell. Anyway, got the big boiler. Ruth is in the corner just dying over there. Okay, we got the big boiler and the install. So the big boiler was $744. It will be good enough for you, for a bigger house, for your guests, for everyone. Because again, trying to get the best we could without going into debt on my budget and spending once. I'll have to spend 10 years down the line, maybe. Not on the boiler, but on some of the smaller
Yeah.
things. But this is a one-time purchase. And okay, so the install was $205 to hook it into the house and so on. And as soon as we turned it on, Ruth was like, "Turn on those showers. We need to make sure it works." There was hot water.
Yeah, he did very good. He did,
Yeah.
he was, and then we got some, a few freebies out of him too.
Yes, exactly. So for folks, all that work, I consider them to be necessary. I'm going to give you a few of the niceties, but these are things that you needed.
Yeah, the things that we talked so far are things that is a must-have.
Yeah, at least we consider them to be must-haves if you want to stand on your own 2 feet in this climate, right?
That's true.
So that's about $24,000, give or take, right? And again, 1,700 square feet. So let's talk about the things that we have added or thinking about added to make it a complete house. So everything is done, I'm protected, I'm comfortable, and I'm pampered, right?
True. Well,
Okay.
yeah, that's true. We're almost there. We are like
Yeah,
this
we're almost
close.
there because the pampered list is short. I'm waiting. My ship hasn't come in yet. Okay, so the pool surround. It's a stamped concrete that runs the side of my house and around my pool because you don't want rocks falling in or gravel falling into your pool, right?
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
a very expensive fix. And we're going to go a little faster because these are niceties. That's $2,700. It's going to be done by Angel's contractor. I
It's gonna be
trust him.
stamped concrete all around the pool, and it's gonna go all the way to the sidewalk.
Exactly, exactly. I'm going to put a roof over my shed because my little storage shed didn't come with the roof. And we figured out, okay, the generator, if it's raining, can't be outside. It can't get wet. So we're going to put a little roof over there so the generator can be stored in the storage area and be protected. That's $1,700. So if I want to get fancy, because Angel has got this amazing roof over his garage, for me, it's for my yard, it's going to be $3,300 with excellent materials.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Again, everything is the best I can afford without going into debt.
That's a good thing you mentioned. You got to remember these prices. Some of you might be like, "Wow, that's a little too much." But this girl requests the best of the best materials,
Within my
and
budget.
within her budget. And I don't blame her though, because you can go cheaper. You're gonna have to be calling me 2 years from now and saying, "Angela, I need to replace this," and that's something we want to
Yeah.
avoid. You want to do it once and do it right.
Yeah, yeah. This is all part of taking care of myself because I don't want to have to worry about these things breaking because I didn't do it right the first time. Okay? So perhaps the most expensive part. Even though Merida is considered the second safest country in Canada, US, and
City.
Mexico, in Mexico, people still have security gates around their place. And it's not just about security. You also get to use your garage for storage. It's, you know who's coming to your house. The dogs won't poop in your landscaping.
Yep, that's true.
My neighborhood has a lot of stray dogs, folks, because it's just regular people, and they feed these dogs, so there are stray dogs everywhere,
That's true.
right? Okay, so the gate, same quality as the ladder, and automation, it's $6,897. I have to save for that, but you better believe I will do it, because
Yeah.
this makes your entire enclosed protected house.
Yeah, well, I say for mine too. I mean, it's something that I like to have, you know. And like I said, it's not a must-have. Like you said, we're talking about luxury. Well, luxury.
Yeah, because
stuff.
Merida is safe.
It
Don't-
is safe.
Yeah.
But yeah, you know, like I was telling you, you want to garden and you want to plant something, you don't have to worry about a dog coming into your front lawn and pooping in the yard or, you know, or things like that. So I said, like, yeah, I would say I would put a gate. That way you want to be up until midnight doing some planting on summertime. You don't have to be like, maybe a little hesitant that you've been there up there by yourself, especially when
yeah.
you live by yourself.
Exactly. And that way you can see who's coming to your property before they get anywhere near to your door. Now, you can have the gate without the automation for $5,310. For that extra $1,200 or so, I think it's worth it to get the automation because I'm not getting in and out of my car, spoiled, to open and close the gate.
Exactly.
Okay, so these niceties, it's a little under $15,000, folks. What we're trying to tell you is that for a 1,700 square foot house, to do the dressing and the extra niceties, we're talking $50,000, $60,000 here.
Yeah.
1,700 square feet. Now, my house costs $115,000, and you certainly don't have to do all these things.
Yeah.
And you can step down. We've warned you about it, but you can step down on the price. You can save, do the solar panels later.
Yeah, look, for example, the cabinets. You don't have to do cabinets. You can do the shelves, concrete shelves, like a lot of old traditional Mexican houses have. They're cheaper because you're not using wood, you're just using concrete. They won't rotten, they won't, they won't get rust. I mean, they're fine. The problem is, like I said, if you want cabinets, then you pay for cabinets. But if you want those metal shelves, I mean, not metal, but concrete shelves, you can do that too.
Yeah.
You know,
I actually I cut my costs because, Ruth gave me a great suggestion. She said, have half of the metal shelves. That's where I put my appliances and my pots and pans and stuff. And the closed side's going to be more like my pantry. So that's how, instead of having 4 feet worth of pantry, I would have had to have 8 feet worth of pantry.
Exactly.
And that's a lot more money. So there are ways around it. We're just giving you an idea of what it could cost to dress your house.
Overall, for a house like your size, like you said, it's approximately $60,000. That
To
is
do everything.
Everything on top, you got to add to that beds, car.
Oh my gosh, appliances.
That's appliances. We talk about to get the house to like, okay, I have all that she mentioned. So whatever you budget, you say I have 150. Don't buy a house for 150.
Buy a house for 100.
For 100 or 90.
Yeah,
Okay?
yeah, exactly.
Be realistic because you
Right.
know it's gonna be more than that. And remember, 115 she mentioned, you have to pay notary fees, you got to pay the state, you have to pay the county, you have to pay the city, just like in the United States.
Yes. And so I think that's it, right? We pretty much covered everything.
The backsplash.
Oh, that's the nicety. We won't go there because you already think I'm spoiled by listening to this video. And I have the backsplash because
Very nice,
somebody
beautiful.
said to me, you know, people sit at my island and they kick it and they get it dirty. So what do you have to do? She got her backsplash and her island done. It's gorgeous.
Oh no, you know, yours is, I love hers. I mean, when I first saw the ones you got the time, I was like, I don't know. I was like, well, you like it. I mean, what can I say? But then when you see the way it is now, it's like a kind of like.
It's a Portuguese-inspired tile. Portuguese, half Mexican-inspired.
Yeah,
tile.
I don't know. It's kind of like a modern house with a traditional Mexican old house touch.
Yeah.
It's gorgeous.
Yeah.
I love it. Now, when you fry stuff and when you cook, what is going to happen is that you know that the oil is going to, if it's hot, it's going to splash the walls. Now you're going to be painting every day because you're going to have dirt on the walls. If you put the tile like you have now and like I do have,
And just wipe it down.
just wipe it down with a rag.
Yeah. So, folks, that is our rundown of what it takes to dress and fancy up a little bit a Mexican house, a brand new Mexican house. If you have any questions, you can send me an email. I'll have it in discussion. If you have complaints, you can write him because it wasn't my fault.
Well, you're the boss. You write to the boss and let it complain to me.
He's lying. He's lying. I followed his guidance. So, folks, that's all we have for tonight. I wanted this to be half an hour. It's almost twice that much, but we wanted to give you the real deal on what it costs. I hope you enjoy it and leave lots of comments, share it, let people know because this is the first house dressing video I think I've ever seen.
Yeah, I think we haven't seen many people. Actually, I haven't seen on a YouTube or anywhere really videos about people dressing the house.
Yeah.
Even the term dressing
Yeah.
might be like I never heard of that. Even though we are
Exactly.
dressing like that here,
Yeah.
we call it dressing. But yeah, that's true.
Yeah. So I hope you enjoyed the video and let us know if you have questions. As usual, if you want the services of this guy, he's worth every penny and more. He probably thinks I should be paying him. I'm not paying him any money. He's being blessed with my wonderful presence. Oh my God.
That's oh my God.
It's
just
time
tell
to
me.
say goodbye.
Goodbye, guys.